What's happening? This Iron Man from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records. And on this glorious March 24th, 2018, I bring to you my daily views. Everything concerning the NBA, the schedule, my picks, and the reason why. Trying to subscribe to the channel, just hit JMVOL or Just My Views on Life into the search bar or on youtube.com. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time there's a brand new video. Now, about last night, we all know I'm holding on to hope that the Lakers make it to the playoffs. They need to win out, and we need these other teams to lose the rest of the games. Those teams are the Spurs, the Utah Jazz, Los Angeles Clippers, and the Denver Nuggets. A couple of those teams were playing last night, so I was very interested in the results. Indiana Pacers, they came through for me. They beat the Los Angeles Clippers 109-104. The Washington Wizards, I'm pretty sure all that talk of we're better without John Wall, the ball moves, we don't need this guy playing iso ball all day or pick and roll. I'm sure all those talks have pretty much died out because they lost another game to the Denver Nuggets 108-100. We had the Toronto Raptors playing the Brooklyn Nets. Toronto is like the best team in the Eastern Conference. At least they have the best record. And Brooklyn is not so good. But they're trying, though. They're trying. They've had a bunch of injuries, but they still fell a little bit short. Toronto Raptors won 116-112. Then we had the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Phoenix Suns. I would have hoped the Phoenix Suns would have won miraculously, but that, of course, did not happen since they are really in obvious tank mode. The Cleveland Cavaliers took advantage of that. LeBron James has been playing spectacular of late, so there was really a 0% chance Phoenix winning that game. And they lost 95-120. Then we had the Minnesota Timberwolves with my boy Derrick Rose playing the New York Knicks. This game was, I don't know, maybe Minnesota isn't as good as they think they are, or maybe New York was playing out of their mind. But Minnesota held on to the slim victory 108-104. I'm just glad to hear that Derrick Rose is not hurt again. Everything, he's playing well, no problems with the team. Sounds fantastic. Then we got the Chicago Bulls playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Like I said, my homie Samid is a big-time Chicago Bulls fan, and I don't really care about the Milwaukee Bucks unless you're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to the Lakers when he becomes a free agent in a couple of years. But other than that, Chicago Bulls, they're really in take mode. They lost 105-118. Wasn't even really a close game if you watched it at all. But the Oklahoma City Thunder played the Miami Heat. I would have loved for the Miami Heat to win, just to pound Oklahoma City Thunder into the ground. Like we said, we can push Paul George out the door and hopefully sign real easily with the Los Angeles Lakers. But that didn't happen as they won 105-99. Now, the San Antonio Spurs played the Utah Jazz. And since the Spurs, I want both of them to lose, but since can't have both of them, whoever's got the worst record, I wanted them to lose, so that would be a better chance of the Lakers slipping into their spot. Utah actually has the worst record, I think by a game. San Antonio Spurs came through, won 124, even though they had to go to overtime. They won 124-120, so I really appreciate that. Hopefully we can slip into Utah's spot if we could win out, which isn't going to happen, but I'm holding out hope. Then we had the Boston Celtics playing the Portland Trail Blazers. And when we're talking, if anybody's talking about Coach of the Year, they might have to think about, giving Brad Stevens some votes over there in Boston, because being without Gordon Hayward from the beginning of the season and so many injuries, Marcus Smart injuring himself, some part of it was due to stupidity and a lack of self-control. Now you got Kyrie Irving, which I will talk about in a separate video along with your boy Steph Curry. But the Portland Trailblazers, I don't know, they've been rolling as of late, but for some reason, the Boston Celtics, like I said, man, Brad Stevens is doing a hell of a job over there. They've stayed above water. Little do people know, one reason that they were so quick to give up Isaiah Thomas in a trade for Kyrie Irving is that Terry Rozier, the backup point guard, is much, much better than people thought he was. He's not a 10-minute a guy game. This guy can give you 15 to 20 minutes of high quality minutes. and even step in like he's doing right now, for the starting role when Kyrie Irving went down. This guy's much better than people thought he was. That's why they were on the slide, on the low. They were quick to give up Isaiah Thomas. He's bigger than Isaiah Thomas, plays much, much better defense, which isn't really hard to do since Isaiah Thomas plays no defense at all. But Boston pulled out the win 105-100. Then to close out the night, we had the Golden State Warriors playing the Atlanta Hawks. You would have thought, even with all the injuries, whether Steph Curry played or not, you would think that Kevin Durant could put him on his shoulders and beat the struggling, tanking Atlanta Hawks. They did that. Steph Curry came in there and played. He played played fairly well. But there's some injury news and an update on that. And I'm going to get to that in a separate video because I don't want this video to be too long. I know there's a lot of Steph Curry fans out there that want his own time to shine. So I will give him that along with update on Kyrie Irving. The Warriors won 106-94. Now on to today. Minnesota Timberwolves, the game's already started. They're playing the Philadelphia 76ers. Like I said, I'm rooting for Derrick Rose to have an explosive comeback. Fantastic end to the season. So I'm rooting for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I want them to win this game, even though they're losing right now by 7. But let's root for your boy. A nice, healthy game, nice end to the season. And hopefully it'll bode well for the future for Derrick Rose and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then we got the Chicago Bulls playing the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons are actually clinging to slim hope that they might make it into that 8th seed of the playoffs because the Milwaukee Bucks aren't playing that well, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is injured right now. So they're actually winning over the Chicago Bulls, even though I like the way the Bulls team is constructed right now, and to me, my homie, that's his favorite team. Hey, I'm rooting for the Chicago Bulls, but if they lose, I understand they're still trying to tank and get better next year. At least better position themselves for a draft pick this year. So they're losing right now. Who knows what's going to happen by the end of the game. Phoenix and Orlando, this is the clash of the tankers. I prefer for Phoenix to win because they'll have a worse draft pick. Great, they can't improve that much over next year. And then Orlando, I want them to get destroyed because Aaron Gordon may leave them and not resign. Maybe even come to the Lakers if we miss out on Paul George and LeBron James. Then we have the Lakers playing the Memphis Grizzlies. The Lakers need to win every single game to the end of the season. Memphis is clearly trying to tank. They are trying to tank. Before that win the other night, they had lost like 19 games in a row. Ridiculous. The Lakers need to go and pull out this victory. I don't care what's going on with anybody on the team. You guys need to win this. You need to win out for the rest of the season. Regardless of whether you make the playoffs, you need to end the season strong. You know what I'm saying? Send a good message to these potential free agents and for the fans for next year. So let's go Lakers. The New Orleans Pelicans are playing the Houston Rockets. These Houston Rockets. But I got to lean towards Houston because I am Houston's own. So hopefully the Houston Rockets can go ahead and destroy these boys. I'm really tired of Anthony Davis. This guy's playing so good like a monster right now. Somebody needs to put him back into his place. So hopefully the Beard, Chris CP3, Eric Gordon can have a monster game. And maybe Gerald Green. I don't know. Let him get about 15, 20 points, give him a few minutes. Either way, I just want them to destroy the New Orleans Pelicans. Like I said, because they whooped up on my boys, the Lakers, a few days ago. And I'm Houston's own, so I want them to win regardless. And it doesn't affect the Lakers' playoff position anyway. So let's go Houston Rockets. Then we got the Charlotte Hornets playing the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks are tanking. The Charlotte Hornets are clinging to hope that they'll make it into that 8th seed in the playoffs, just like the Detroit Pistons. So hopefully Dwight Howard, he had a good rest after he got suspended for too many technicals in the season. After you get 16, you have to miss a game. So I'm sure he'll come back. And then we had Kemba Walker with that fantastic game the other night. So hopefully they'll both have a fantastic season high and destroy the Dallas Mavericks and play well. Maybe they'll get that 8th seed in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. I don't know. I'm rooting for them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit JMVOL or Just My Views on Life into the search bar on YouTube.com. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time there's a brand new video Once again, I'm Iron Man from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records. And this is just how I see it. Be blessed and Godspeed. Feel free to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Really and truly appreciate it. Leave all your interesting comments right down below, especially the ones where you disagree with everything that I just said. And then subscribe so you don't miss any of the newest and latest views.